that assists the deaf with access to information. Take a look.
At just 20 years old and 22 years old, Elisa Vatia and Emmanuel Mulengwa are the developers of Veezaviz, a software that enables inclusion in communication for the deaf. Their inspiration came after having an experience interacting with a physically challenged person, which marked a turning point for their innovations.
Veezaviz is an assistive technology, social enterprise. Okay. We are building leading-edge technologies that facilitate communication and break the communication barrier between the deaf and the hearing communities. Early 2020, before the pandemic, my co-founder and I, we used to train robotics around the country. And we had multiple instances where we interacted with deaf students. And to us, this was like an aha moment, because it was a new experience, and the only option we had was to write on pen, paper. But then we started having multiple occurrences similar to that. And we just decided, since we are into this and we identified this gap, let's use our skills, talk to the deaf community, understand their problems, and see how we can use our skills to alleviate this.
With background in ICT and data science, they put together Veezaviz. And this is how it works.
Veezaviz, it's an AI platform that can be used to translate sign language into text and also text into sign language with no need of the hearing understanding sign language. So how it's actually working is that we have the back end of the application, which this back end is the machine learning part. We're leveraging on machine learning, specifically computer vision. So we are trying to use what computers can see, like the cameras of your phone or the webcam can see. And then we are trying now to, if a deaf person is signing, so these frames, it can be able to be captured, and then it can be able to translate what exactly is being signed in text.
My personal experience.
Scovia is one person living with hearing disability that has been able to benefit from the duo's innovation. With no ability to hear, she finds it easy interacting with the animations and office assistants in the software to access necessary information.
I have communication skills when using the app. I have also gained some ICT skills by using the app. For example, how to start internet. If many people communicate with someone who doesn't know sign language, it is possible they use the chat room of this app.
Achieving all this wasn't easy. For example, loading the data on that platform was a nightmare, as they had to use multiple sources of information, at least to get the minimum viable product right.
One of the challenges we are facing is the background really matters sometimes. And also when we started, the kind of data we were actually collecting were actually ourselves, just our hands doing the science and all. So now after training it, we came to discover that that model cannot detect any other person's hand or the fingers. It detects ours more accurately than the other person's. So it means that during this training, we have to collect data from different people, like that, and then it has to have different backgrounds.
Kenya has a unique market with different ethnical divisions. And so, is there a need to use vernacular content?
One of the interesting things is that deaf people know English. They don't know Kiswahili.
Really?
The first language they know is English. Yes, because also Kenyan Sign Language is actually originating from American Sign Language. Yeah, so basically everything, even in school or even the science itself, it's actually in English.
People living with disabilities are rarely consulted when innovations are being developed to support them. This is one of the concerns that the duo met while coming up with the application.
The most repeated phrase we had from our interactions was communication barrier. Communication barrier. And through communication, we learned that they can't access even basic services from healthcare, education, financial services. Yeah, and aside from that, we also learned that it's expensive in terms of for them, especially sign language interpretation services. Yeah, interestingly, to hire an interpreter to interpret for you, it's 2,500 shillings per hour, and that's like the average rate.
But even with that, the market has been receptive.
We've been testing, iterating, and improving our technology with the deaf community. So far, we've involved 55 plus, which is our community actually. They own the solution.
According to the United Nations, about 15% of world population lives with disabilities. Yet, with the ground already uneven for them, somehow they have to make it around. With the support from Innovator now, Eli and Mulengwa are championing a better world for PWDs through social innovation.
We've been taking part in Innovator now Assistive Technology Accelerator, which is the first assistive tech incubator in Africa.
We have been having a conversation and actually meeting with the National Council of People with Disabilities, NCPWD, and they're actually so excited about this. Okay. Yeah, and they're actually waiting for it. They're waiting for it.
For the Innovator, this week on KTN News, I'm Brian George Otieno.